Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I remember the first time I ever had a mobile device, or a cell phone, if you will. They don't really call them cell phones anymore, but it was a Nokia phone, and I loved it. And to this day, it's been one of the best phones I've ever owned. It was very easy to operate, very few drop calls. I can't even remember the network at this point. It was only just a few years ago. I mean, cell phones or mobile phones haven't been around for all that long, but I'm pretty sure that the carrier is no longer around, or has been swallowed up by a larger carrier, has its name changed a million times. One of our community members, Dino, just sent me an email asking, was there a way that a person can cancel their cell phone contract and not get penalized? I thought you had mentioned this once. I am getting a real headache from, well, I'm not going to say I don't want to get sued. Well, first of all, Dino, go ahead and tell us who you're frustrated with, because I do not know a single person on the entire planet, and I don't mean just the U.S., I mean the entire planet, if not galaxy, who loves their provider for mobile services or data services or mobile phone services, cell services. No one loves it. No one loves their vendor, and very few people even love their phones. With the wake of the iPhone being released, there have even been some people that have complained about that. Well, myself included, although I don't have, nor do I really want to rush out and get an iPhone. So, canceling a contract is usually where they stick it to you. And I've felt this several times over. It's one of the reasons why I'm very leery about signing contracts. I moved recently from Verizon to Singular, and in doing so, Verizon levied very hefty fines against me, which was depressing, but it gave me all the more reason to leave that company. I think it's very unfriendly for a company that wants my business to, I guess, stick it to me if I want to leave that contract. The only reason why they have those contracts in place is to guarantee that I won't leave a network. I've had similar issues recently with Clearwire wanting to drop their service, but unfortunately, the plan was such that it would cost me a lot of money to drop the service, something that it would not be worth dropping. I'd have to hold out for the length of the contract. Might as well have access to the service. And usually the onus is on the person buying the contract to make sure that any escape clauses aren't going to be detrimental to them. As a matter of fact, Brandon from Microsoft, he works on the search team, BrandonLive.com. Brandon Paddock is his name. Recently wrote about how easy it was to get out of an XM contract. So that makes me even happier about being a very satisfied XM customer. At some point, if I decide to drop them, and I see no reason why I would at this point, but Brandon said it was a very good experience. As far as escaping a cell phone contract, or a mobile services contract, as it were, I've been told, and I've never used, this service called Cell Trade USA, and likely, as the domain implies, it's probably only available for those of you who are in the good old US of A. Cell Trade USA. Now, as the name suggests, it most likely allows you to swap out your contract with someone else's contract. And I've seen similar services that have to do with car leases. I was thinking a while ago, when I had an older Acura, a 1994 TSX, getting out of that lease so I could either lease or purchase another car, and I learned about a few websites that would allow me to do that with cars. Quite honestly, I wish it were easier to manage, and I wish I had more resources for you, but Cell Trade USA is the only one that I see at this point in time that has had any amount of credibility from people who have understood the problem. And if you've ever had any experience with this particular website or any other website that would allow Dino to do what he's trying to do, by all means, suggest a way. I also have another recommendation for everybody who's got a mobile device. Now I'm looking around for my phone and I can't find it. When you are finished with either a contract, or let's say you upgrade your phone, what do you do with that old phone, that old mobile device? What do you do with it? Most people throw it in a drawer, right? You guys probably have it sitting in a drawer right now. That's the stupidest thing, and I don't mean to offend anybody, that you can do, because there's a website that you can go to called sellforcash.com and send in that phone without the battery, and they will give you money. I've done this 4 or 5 times and never had a problem with it. You've got money sitting in your drawer right now, and you may not realize that there's a way to exchange that for cash. I mean, it's just sitting in the drawer. That's it, taking up space. Now, as far as how much money you get back, depends on the phone, how much demand there is for it. Certainly, you're not going to get as much back as you did when you originally purchased the phone in the first place, but it should be something more than nothing. I think one of the Nokia devices that I exchanged, I ended up getting like $100 back at one point, and that's pretty substantial for something that would otherwise be wasting away. So now at this point, you are crazy if you do not try a service like Sell4Cash. And I mention that name specifically because that's the service that I've used to exchange my cell phone, and I've had actual experience with them. They even send you the envelope, and then you just drop the phone in there and send it back, and then pretty soon you see a check. So it's definitely worth checking out. So there's a couple of problems that we've had before, and a couple of solutions possibly. Well, I think that wraps it up for now, unless anybody else has any questions related to mobile plans or cell phones. If you do, ask away. We're always here at live.pirillo.com.